You know what the biggest problem with black people is? So-called black people. The melanated man and woman doesn't realize that there's a war going on. So as this war is going on, they're constantly the victim. And they don't perceive that the food is against them. They don't perceive that the system itself, the government, is against them. They don't perceive that the scientific community is even against them, right? So they don't realize that they are constantly being pressured into trauma, constantly being pressured into pain, and constantly being pressured into becoming a permanent underclass. Even if you look at the music videos nowadays, right? You see a whole bunch of kids aiming at the screen, pointing guns with loud ass trap music, talking about popping somebody's head off, right? So this is the image that young black men have to look at. And who do young black women have to look at, right? Who's constantly throwing their face? Megan Thee Stallion, Lizzo, Cardi B. This is not a judgment of any of them. I'm just saying this is not the best role. These are not the best role models for my daughter, but they're constantly pumped in the media, on billboards, on the radio, et cetera, giving awards as the standard, right? WAP won an award, so that means that's the standard. An award is the highest thing you could win. So this war that's happening to black people, melanated people, is not a physical war. It has nothing to do with trapping you and turning you into a physical slave anymore. The war is right here. The war is about turning you into a mental slave. It's about trapping your mind. It's about what Morpheus said the Matrix is really about. Taking a battery that's in your body, right? Taking the battery that's in your body and utilizing it for their benefit, utilizing it to pump the Matrix and being trapped in this illusionary world where you're distracted by everything. George Floyd case, Ma'Khia Bryant and all that. You know, all these different, the white dude who pushed the black kid and all these different things you're investing yourself in emotionally without even getting the full story a lot of times, right? But you're invested emotionally off news clips and slices and bites of things that you see. And you don't realize that this is meant to induce trauma. This is meant to induce pain. This is meant to induce anxiety and most of all, fear. Most of all, fear. Because fear is the greatest marketing tool on earth, but one of the most negative. And as that cortisol, that chemical cortisol, soars through your body from your fear and literally poisons you because now you're in fight or flight mode for no apparent reason when nothing is really happening to you personally. And this is not to say you don't have empathy. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to the families of all the fallen by cops wrongly. You know what I'm saying? But but at the end of the day, these people are getting multi-million dollar checks. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not to say that's right. I'm not here to say that that's equals them losing their lives or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that. But what I am saying is that if you get in a situation, right, with these cops, you need a good lawyer. So you need to focus on making sure you, your family, you know what I'm saying, are right first and foremost. And that takes focus. That takes dedication. That takes a oneness within self. That takes you manufacturing and utilizing your energy, the limited power bar. You're like a video game character. So the limited power bar that you have, utilizing that energy towards what is going to make you a better human, or not even a better human, right? Turn you into a god, right? The Bible says that, Psalms 82:6, do you not know that ye are gods? So where you are tuned into a frequency of self-mastery and self-improvement on a day-to-day basis, and not tuned into what's going on with the world, what happened to George Floyd, what happened to this person and that person. I'm not saying don't watch it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, but investing in yourself emotionally, it doesn't make sense. You can show empathy for the family, But remember, first and foremost, you have to make sure that you're not attaching so much emotion to these things that it's taken away from your own happiness, that it's taken away from your own peace of mind, that you're not walking around here fearful and anxious and depressed because of something that really had nothing to do with you personally or your family or those close to you. So we really have to be mindful of the energy that we put out, the energy that we utilize, and what we're utilizing it for, because there's only a limited amount of energy you have during the day. There's only a limited amount of energy that you have before you pass out and go to sleep, and the day's over. So each day is important because time is the one thing you can't get back. Time is the one thing you can't buy. Time is the one thing that's not on the stock market. You can't invest in time. Time is going to go, what they say, Father Time is undefeated. So you have to utilize that time to the best of your ability. And the best of your ability may not be worrying about what's happening in a whole nother state or a whole nother country or a whole nother town or a whole nother block, when you could be focused on worrying about you, yours, right? And then focus on worrying about the world. So be careful. Protect your energy. Energy vampires aren't just people. There's energy vampires on the internet. There's energy vampires in the media. There's energy vampires with these stories. Why do you think right after this whole justice thing happened, all of a sudden there's 2 more stories? It's not a coincidence. This is a play-by-play. This is a play-by-play. You have to realize you live in a matrix with things that are manufactured. And I'm not saying these things aren't really happening. What I am saying is the way they're publicized and the way they're laid out, where some stories make it to the news and some stories don't. There's a reason for that. There's an Associated Press. You think the Associated Press isn't biased? So how's their freedom of the press when Minister Farrakhan and Young Pharaoh and Rizla Islam and all these other people are getting deplatformed? The David Ikes, the Alex Jones, all these people are getting deplatformed. If you say something wrong about the jab, the shot, right? If you say that particular word, they're going to flag your video or your statement. So is there really freedom of the press? Is there really freedom of speech? Now, it's limited. Yeah, you can create your own website and do different things like that, right? You can find alternatives and ways, but really, is there freedom? Is that freedom? You know, in a so-called open society with freedom of the press. So this world that we live in is really a world that's designed to consume your energy, ultimately. And you are just a big bundle of energy. Everything is energy. So you're just a big bundle of energy. And this world, this planet that we're on, this third rock from the sun, is really just a consumer planet. It's a eat, 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 right? Everything is eating something. All the animals are eating and eating each other, right? And people will eat you alive if you let them. People will devour your energy alive if you let them and drain you. Things outside of yourself will devour your energy and drain you. Not to mention the problems that we all, and the struggles that we all have, and the things that we're all trying to overcome. So you taking on not only your own problems, the world's problems, and some people take on the world's problems to avoid handling their own problems, to avoid dealing with their own shit, to avoid going into challenging and different things and making things happen based on that. And going through the shadow work, right? Going through the struggle of sacrificing time and friends and entertainment and parties in order to seek spiritual development, in order to seek knowing thyself, right? In order to seek wisdom, not to be part of the mass, right? Those things take sacrifice. Those things take energy, because this world is trying to devour you. The media is trying to devour your energy. They're trying to keep your attention. They're trying to, all these platforms that we're on, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, they're all trying to devour your attention. It's the attention economy. The economy is money. money is currency. So they're trying to devour your attention. So these stories are trying to devour your attention. So you got to really be mindful of what you're paying attention to and what you're watching. Especially in this age of Aquarius, we're dealing with the mind and what they're trying to trap you with, even with this shot news, right? These jab news and these different so-called strains, they're trying to capture your mind through fear. They're trying to capture your mind through fear. It's the same marketing tool used over and over and over and over and over again. And if you stay focused on what they give you, what you're being fed, you're going to get sick from dis-ease, from not being at ease, from not being at peace. You keep eating this diet, you're going to be sick and you're going to be diseased. So the best thing in the world is nature. The best thing in the world is family. The best thing in the world is children. The best thing in the world is good company. The best thing in the world is a good relationship. You know what I'm saying? The best thing in the world is somebody who prays for you. The best thing in the world is nurturing those that make you laugh. The best thing in the world is nurturing your dreams, your hopes, and your aspirations to the best of your ability with the limited time that you have in this avatar, this flesh, this meat suit. So pay attention to what you're paying attention to, because everything you pay attention to has an energy exchange, and you are responsible at the end of the day for what you exchange your energy with, because that's the one thing you could choose, no matter what situation you're in. Peace, power, and prosperity to you all.